We're talking about operations with polynomials, and we're talking about dividing polynomials using long division. We have a quadratic function divided by a binomial. So we put our quadratic function underneath the divide bracket, and we have our binomial out front. We understand that there's an understood 1 that's in front, and we are always trying to eliminate the lead term. So in this case, we're trying to make x become negative 3x squared. So in order for this to happen, we know that we have to add one additional x, or we have to multiply by 1x in order to get the squared term. And then our coefficient, we want to match the coefficient. So 1, how does it become negative 3? We multiply by negative 3. So negative 3x times x is negative 3x squared. So we have that matched. So that's what we want to have happen there. And then we say negative 3x times negative 3 becomes positive 9x. Now, we have to remember that we want to get rid of this stuff. And if we just add down, that will become negative 6x squared. So we have to remember that we're multiplying this whole thing by a negative in order for us to cancel these terms out. So negative times a negative becomes positive, and so these terms drop out in the front. So those cancel. And 5x minus 9x is negative 4x. And just like when we did division previously, what we have to do is we have to bring down the 4. And now our next term that we want to come to is we want to make x become negative 4x. So how does x become x? We don't need additional x terms. How does 1 become negative 4? We multiply by negative 4. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative x is positive 12. And then remember, we are subtracting this whole thing. We're subtracting that whole binomial there. Negative 4, or negative times negative is positive. So our terms here cancel out, and that drops out. And 4 minus 12 becomes negative 8. And that is our remainder. So we have a remainder of negative 8. And the way that we write this is the same way that we wrote it earlier. We take the value or the polynomial that we calculated here, and then we're going to simply add our remainder divided by the binomial that we were dividing into it earlier. So the final answer will be negative 3x minus 4 plus our remainder, in this case, which is negative 8, over x minus 3. And then that is our final answer.